2026 can go itself. For real. 2026 can go itself. Not fun. Not a good time. Jimmy Butler, possibly the last time we might ever see him play basketball. I hope not. I hope he can come back from this, but I don't know, man. Tearing your ACL, say he's out for a year. If he comes back a year from now, he'll be pushing 37 and a half years old. If he does come back, I don't know if he's going to be able to make the contributions that he's been making like so far this season, because he's been having a really good season. And man, that game last night, man, whoo! Right in the beginning of that game, I said, oh no, Jimmy's trying tonight, because I've watched a lot of Jimmy Butler basketball. And if you're a Heat fan, you know there's some nights where Jimmy is phoning it in, and there's some nights where you go, oh boy, Jimmy's trying tonight. Watch out. Man, he looked good. Like, that's what really breaks my heart about this, because he looked fantastic. I mean, there were numerous plays where I was like, man, Jimmy looks great. Like, Jimmy looks super explosive and fast and spry. And then this had to happen, man. It's so depressing. And look, I know that a lot of Heat fans aren't big on Jimmy these days and how everything ended, and we don't need to open that whole can of worms, but Jimmy will always have a special place in my heart, because, you go back and you look at what that guy did in the 2020, 2022, 2023 postseason, man. I mean, the guy was superhuman. What he did was Herculean. And I've mentioned this in other videos that, Jimmy is the reason I got back into basketball, especially that 2022 playoff run. I basically stopped caring about basketball for like 17 years. And it was that era of the Jimmy Butler Miami Heat that made me fall back in love with basketball and, maybe become a Heat fan. And that's why I started this channel, just to have some fun with it. And so I will always love Jimmy. Prayers to him, and I hope he recovers. And what a weird play. And man, there's something about Jimmy. This is something I've always noticed about him, and I've never been able to figure it out, is that, and I love the guy, but sometimes he just will put himself into these like vulnerable positions that leaves him open to injury. And I'm watching the play here, and Warriors fans seem to be kind of mad at Pods, or at least at that time they were mad at Pods for throwing him that kind of pass. But people always throw Jimmy passes like that, those kind of overhead weird lobs that go over a couple defenders, and Jimmy like jumps in the air and catches it. And the weird thing about this is that if you watch it in slow motion, is that Jimmy catches it, but then his left leg, he like flails his leg. And that's something I noticed that Jimmy always does. And I don't know if he does that to like draw a foul, or if it's a habit, or what, but it's something I see him do all the time, like where he flails his legs. But the problem with that, especially with this, is that you put your body in a vulnerable position. And I know it's very easy for me to, sit here in a chair, and I'm not even trying to criticize him, but it's just, if you watch it, there's a little contact from Davion Mitchell. It was nothing dirty. I don't think there was going to be a foul call or anything like this. And Jimmy catches it, and you would think, unless maybe he was that off balance, but you would think like that he would try to, catch it and then plant his feet. But instead, his left leg like kicks way out. It kicks way out, and then all of this pressure lands on his right leg in this really awkward like 45-degree angle, and his knee just couldn't handle it, man. And it's just so awful. But I feel so bad for Jimmy. I feel bad for the Warriors, and I feel bad for Steph too, man. I do feel bad for Steph. I mean, the guy's 38 years old, out here absolutely hooping, man. I mean, Steph is just having a great season, fantastic game against us. All those assists he had, he's incredible. And Jimmy's hurt. They got the whole Kuminga situation. Draymond didn't play last night, and Steph's just out here trying to hold everything together. And the Heat are just so aggravating. Oh my God, just an aggravating team. And let's be honest, like at the end of the day, they are a mediocre to slightly above mediocre kind of team. Mid to maybe slightly above mid. And that's what they are. They really should just like pick a direction and go in that direction instead of just wallowing in this kind of mediocrity. Get into the Giannis sweepstakes if you're able to. If not, then trade everybody over 25 and do a rebuild and invest in your young guys. And they just clearly cannot find any kind of sustainability. They clearly just don't have the talent to sustain playing high-level basketball like the really good teams do. I'm over here hyping up Bam last video and congratulating him for winning Eastern Conference Player of the Week, and then my man goes out and scores 4 points. Jesus Christ, Bam. I mean, Draymond didn't even play. I was assuming Bam was going to have this big game. He was over here, doing the old tour date routine. He almost matched today's date. It's January 20th right now. Bam went January 13th on us. 1 for 13 from the field. 0 for 5 from 3. Ay, ay, ay. Wiggins, this guy has 18 points in the first half and then doesn't score in the second half. Oh my goodness. And we shot absolutely terrible from 3. 29% from 3, 13 for 45, 19 turnovers. That's not good. We lost 27-14 on points off turnovers. And I'm kind of getting to a point now where I just want to see more Yakachonis and Ware. I want Casper and Ware minutes, man. Because at least those guys, like, as imperfect as they are and raw as they are, those guys are exciting. Like, Kasparis is an exciting player to watch. And Kalel, I know he's raw and imperfect and like, Spo doesn't want to play him that much and he's developing. But, like, I said this last video, we're not winning a championship. Where are we going this season? Play the kid. He had 15 points. 7 for 10 from the field. The kid just does things sometimes where I'm just like, oh my God, did you see what he just did? Like, did you guys see that fast break? He caught the ball with one hand and does like a reverse dunk. Like, what? We have like a freak of nature on this team, and he's playing like 10, 15 minutes a game. Just play him. It's not like we're not like the Denver Nuggets. Play the kid and play Myron Gardner while we're at it. Hey, Myron was a +1. I think Myron also was the one who pissed off Pods and Jaime. I was wondering who pissed off Pods, and from what I've heard on other podcasts, it was apparently Jaime and Myron Gardner, and boy, did they piss off Pods, and boy, oh boy, did Pods punk us. Oh my God. My man was flexing on Pella Larson. I said, oh my God, Pella's getting flexed on? This is a terrible night. My man was doing step back, side step, rainbow three-pointers, talking smack to the whole bench. He was pointing at people. Woo, man. And that kid is strong, man. He is tough. And I know he's kind of like a polarizing figure amongst Warriors fans. Warriors fans don't really seem to like him all that much. It's very interesting. But every once in a while, that kid goes off and hoops. And he's just like a tough dude, tough Polish kid, whatever he is. Pella, he's got that tough Nordic genes, but Pods, man, he's got those tough Slavic genes. Some of those Slavs, man, those are some tough people. I remember watching when I was growing up, watching, what's that guy's name? Mariusz Pudzianowski. He was like one of those strong men from Poland. Oh my God, there's some strong people in that part of the world. And it reminds me of Jethro Tull. You guys ever see Jethro Tull? I don't know if you young kids know who Jethro Tull is, but you know that song. Bam, 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 bam. Sitting on a park bench. Da, da, da. I'll probably get copyrighted just for that. But he looks just like Jethro Tull. By the way, if you kids want to see a genius at work, go watch Jethro Tull do the song called My God, live 1970 in the Isle of Wight Festival. Man, oh man. So that's it. That's all I feel like talking about. Miami Heat are back to being annoying and mediocre, and everybody's mad at Spo, and Spo plays small ball, and Spo's rotations suck, and we're mediocre, and we have no backup big, and we can't shoot, and Tyler's hurt, something's wrong with his ribs, and that kid's made of glass, and it's just same thing over and over again, God. And we got the Kings. Hopefully we beat the Kings. I mean, after last night's game against the Warriors, they better have a double-digit win against the Kings, and hopefully Zach LaVine doesn't score, what did he have against us last time, like 37, something like that. Hopefully that doesn't happen again, and we get a W against the Kings.